Welcome to the CPG Guys podcast. Your hosts, Shri Rajagopalan and Peter V.S. Bond, explore how brands and retailers engage consumers in an increasingly digitally driven world. And now, here are the CPG Guys.
Hello and welcome to the special episode of the CPG Guys. I'm, of course, Shri, co-founder and co-host of the CPG Guys, and also co-founder and partner of Think Blue Consulting, who has builders, connectors, and amplifiers. We shape the future of commerce to drive your growth. Get in touch with us by sending an email to shri@thinkblueconsulting.co. That's C-O, not C-O-M. Please do listen to my older daughter, Ria Raj's music, www.riaraj.com. That's R-H-E-A-R-A-J. And a new song, Hot Couture, which has now been out for a month. And my younger daughter, Laura Raj, is a member of the Geffen Records Universal Music Group, Cat's Eye, whose social followership is now in the multi-millions. Unable to join me today because I'm actually out live at the Amazon Fresh store number 1, Woodland Hills, California, also the town that I called home, with a very special guest. So unable to join me today is my fellow co-founder, Peter V.S. Bond, and he's not co-hosting this podcast. He serves as head of industry and client engagement at Flywheel, the e-commerce acceleration division of Omnichannel. Before we get to our guest in this episode today, I'd ask you to consider following us on Apple Podcasts and leaving us both a rating and a review. That rating and review tells us how we're doing as a podcast and whether the quality of conversations we're having with our guests is exactly what you want. Of course, needless to say, in the digital liner notes of this episode, we'll include links to the LinkedIn profile of our guest, his company's website, so that you can access it on the go while we go on with our conversation. And now, live from Amazon store number 1, my special guest, Jordan Berke, founder and CEO of Tomorrow, joins me to evaluate what is the latest and bestest and the greatest of how grocery is running within the store environment at this Amazon Fresh store number 1. And we do a quick assessment of our opinions.
How's it going? It couldn't be better, Shri. I think you and I and global grocers around the world are wondering, is Amazon going to be the next big competitor in this segment?
So let me just jump right into that. Right, where are we today? Isn't this store number 1?
It is ground zero, Shri. I mean, we decided to come to where it started, Amazon Fresh number 1. This is where their physical store initiatives really kicked in.
Woodland Hills, California, right in the LA metro area, store number 1. So what Jordan and I decided to come and do is try and see the fear that exists in the marketplace globally. Amazon and grocery is going to be an epic outcome for the consumer. We're here to see, was it an epic outcome for you and me when we shopped? And how was the convenience and experience? What do you think? You come from Walmart, China.
I'd say 5 years in, Shri, I think you and I both wouldn't call it epic. I think we'd say that Amazon is progressing, but man, is there a long way to go. Let's start with the technology.
But even before you do that, Jordan, I'd ask you, you come from Walmart, China. Now, in China, technology is awesome.
Yes.
Convenience is awesome. Community-based shopping is awesome. Pricing is awesome. If you were to benchmark what you saw in Walmart, China, and what you're seeing after your experience today, give us a quick benchmark and then we can kind of outline the why.
It's great that you asked the question, Shri, because in reality, this format that we're standing in front of was inspired by a Chinese format called Fresh Hippo, Alibaba's attempt to be great at omni-grocery. If we compare this to the world's best omni-grocery formats, first, Shri, the merchandise differentiation is just not there. There isn't a reason for customers to leave the grocers in this community to come into this.
So let me ask you that question point blank.
Yeah.
So in this area, we have Ralph's, we have Vons, we have Safeway, we have Whole Foods, and we have Trader Joe's. Now, customers are diverse across all of those, but they're unique to each of those too, mostly for loyalty. Benchmark it to 5 of those. Is the assortment here, what you saw, attractive enough for you to leave one of those with the discounts and values you get through loyalty to come here and shop?
No. Amazon is trying to pay us to be here by investing in price, and that is noticeable, right?
There were 30% discounts in many of the places.
Yeah.
If you have a credit card, you get just 5% off the top at the end of the day. In addition to your 30s, we saw plenty of other offers. Must buys, we saw 2 for 7s, 2 for 4s, 2 for 9s just across the board. a lot of DST attractive offers, displays. How long is that sustainable?
Well, from a pricing standpoint, it's exciting, but when you get to the product itself, there isn't anything different about this store versus all those others you mentioned. The private brand presence is okay. It's not exciting. The brand merchandise assortment is smaller in many categories. So I think that the choice and the compelling nature of the product isn't great. Let's talk about convenience, though, because we know today assortment, value, and convenience are the three legs of the stool.
So assortment, we've said, price, investing,
Selectively
better,
exciting, but yes.
but it's not sustainable.
Right.
Now comes a very important piece, which is convenience. So this cart used to be amazing because you could just pull it off the shelf, put it in, you don't have to scan anything, collect your assortment, other than the hot bar and salad bar. Of course, you have to weigh them.
Yeah.
And you walk out.
Yeah.
What's changed?
Yeah, so just walk out was the vision. Today, it's just walk around with a self-checkout machine on a cart. This is really not innovation that adds value to the customer experience. As you and I experience, it just creates a self-scan experience where you still have to pay, you still have to scan everything. It really doesn't remove friction like the just walk out vision intended.
And we literally had to scan every single item. And so let me ask you another question, right? So there's another technology in the marketplace that exists called the Instacart Caper Cart.
Right.
How'd you find that one versus this?
Yeah, Caper Cart is intending to be more just walk out, right? It's got cameras and scales where you can drop an item in and be done with it. This cart requires that you line up a UPC code with a camera. You've got to be almost a cash register operator to run this baby.
Sam's Club has that scan and go, so I see it as similar, except you're scanning with the app. So why invest in the tech?
Even better. I think Sam's has it figured out. I mean, we're biased because we believe mobile checkout's the cheapest, most sustainable way for a retailer to do it. Why don't you talk about your scan to coupon experience that we have?
I actually like the scan to coupon experience because what it had me do, there were kiosks, but if I scan my actual Prime QR code, it knew who I am. And it offered me coupons based on past purchasing behavior and what was relevant in my behavior, which I actually liked because we tried quite a few. We tried beverages, we tried snacks, and they were offers across the board. And in one particular instance, in dairy, even though it wasn't offering any milk or yogurt or fresh cheese, it did take Parmesan cheese, more the spreadable one, and the shaker, and it was kind of connecting it back to dairy, which I thought was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. Right? I think we would argue that Amazon's digital coupon experience may even be best in class. Would you?
I have to say yes, absolutely. But in that very digital experience you speak to, there was an Alexa interaction you had in store.
Yeah.
And Alexa started out as the best of the best. Siri came before Alexa, but for limited uses inside a phone like maps and a few questions. The world is advanced. But Alexa was pretty cool. How was it cool?
Alexa was cool for like the 1980s. Like, we feel for the Alexa team who had a vision of creating a real agent. ChatGPT has just taken that space and we proved it. The Alexa kiosk in the store still felt like 80% of the questions it couldn't answer. It just is tech that
first generation.
It still feels like first generation.
Which
like
5 years ago, pretty cool.
Right.
To chat with Alexa. But now you could have whipped out a ChatGPT and you may even have gotten the answer to your question. Who knows? We should have tried that.
Let's try. Hey, let's talk about something that is truly working. The media proposition, Sri.
Loved it.
Yeah, talk about why.
To me, the biggest attractive feature, we are in a world where retail media brands are challenging retail media network providers. Amazon has 77 cents to every dollar in the retail media network universe. It's theirs to lose. And to protect it and grow it, they need more properties or inventory. Now, one of the best forms of inventory in groceries is in-store retail media. When you have that many screens inside the store and you're contextualizing the screen to the aisle, you have a winning formula. What do you think?
I'm with you. We have not seen a more powerful in-store media proposition than Amazon Fresh's stores. The irony, of course, Sri, is that the traffic remains low. The store count's sub 60. So the quantity of inventory still isn't huge. So as an advertiser, you're probably buying that via programmatic where you're getting other inventory online, offline, and this is just part of that buy. But man, when it works, right? In that poultry category,
Fabulous.
street related, all throughout the store, you've got unique exposure.
To me, the issue you kind of highlight still is until you get traffic, you can only monetize it. But this capability to monetize is still better than anything I've seen, which I'm going to move us to the next section before we wrap up and pass judgment. How's the over? And that is, you and I decided to go pick up an item from the hop bar.
Did.
So let's say what it is and how that experience was. Were we able to check it out? Was it easy? What happened?
Not just any item, Sri. Maybe give some background. Why samosas from the hot bar today?
So first of all, in any retail environment, I never see a samosa. The only two places I've seen it is Amazon Fresh today and Whole Foods consistently. I cannot explain why. Maybe it's just owner's fantasy, whatever it is, right? So I'm like, we got these samosas. Jordan, let's try them. And so, but you have to pay for them. So we pick them up and talk about the paying experience. How was it as we try these?
Again, back to our self-checkout on wheels here. We couldn't figure out a way to get the cart to recognize the item. I think I typed samosa correctly
5 times.
Search function, and it didn't work. No result found. Amazon, search up your game. And finally we had to, thanks for checking in. Yeah, we couldn't get our samosa to scan on the cart, so we were just checking how to make it work.
Oh, sure. You just ask anybody like us. I could have helped you with that.
Oh, awesome.
So actually, this is what happened, right? After we went through, we couldn't. We went to the counter and did it in the physical way. But what I learned is you can't say samosa.
You just flew hot bar.
You have to say hot bar.
Yeah.
It's better than a restaurant samosa, which shocked me. Now let's wrap this up as we taste test.
Shri,
The question of the day.
Go for it.
You said there were 3 things. What were the 3 things?
assortment,
Yep.
value, convenience.
Why don't you rate each of the 3?
I still think they get a B- on assortment because other than rate samosa, I don't see a lot that's going to make me want to walk out of a Trader Joe's, a Sprouts, or even a Ralph's. Value. Really exciting in terms of promo value
Plus the coupons.
and the investment in promotionally differentiating themselves.
Customized coupons.
Thank you. And yes, the digitally customized coupons and the ease of use of that application was next level. So if I'm looking for savings and I don't need a differentiated assortment, then it comes down to convenience. Can I get in and out quickly? And there, I personally would give them a B to B plus.
I was still going to give it an A-, but I'm going to agree with you on the BB plus because of our experience with the hot bar now. How are you and I supposed to know that we have to search for a hot bar over here? There was, if a sign would have helped,
So
which kind of changed the whole purpose of the convenience, right? Because I had to go through a checkout lane and then,
right.
You know what?
Right.
Thanks for coming.
We doubled the amount of time checking out.
Yep. Yep.
Can we zoom out for a second?
Yep.
Though? Because
Yep.
this is one example of a grocery initiative for Amazon, but it might not even be their biggest.
Yep.
Our view is that Amazon's race to same day or faster delivery is probably having a bigger impact on their growth.
Absolutely.
What's your view?
So I'm going to say for pantry, right, which is where they started this whole journey, they're definitely going to continue to win the race. Because let me ask you as a consumer, right? When you want to learn about something, do you go to any other website other than Amazon.com or the app?
It's a great question. I used to start at Walmart. I used to start at
But you were a Walmart employee.
when it was core grocery. Biases aside, I used to see other places as the place to be if I needed something that day, including pantry. That's
But
changed as
with
I know I can get it.
Ultra fast delivery, what do?
I now see Amazon as an in-day solution. And so my order quantity went up 3x on Amazon last year because of that same day.
And it's not just grocery, even home care, personal care. Now that you know you can get 6 or 8 hour delivery, are you even bothering to go to another? Do you even price check?
Far less, unless it's a significant consideration purchase. But
Exactly.
you're right, pets, baby, cleaning supplies, paper supplies, Amazon is capturing a ton of share.
If it's over $9.99, so $10 is my threshold, I will look on other sites to price shop. If it's less than $9.99, I'm confident I'm getting the best price on Amazon.
So we just talked about Walmart earnings and how speed was so prominent in Doug's comments. But if you look at Amazon's earnings 2 weeks ago, they announced that 140 cities, in the US now have same day or faster delivery, up from 90 a year ago. It's a 50% increase in coverage.
Big deal.
And it's coming to Canada, Australia, and the UK. Globally, same day or faster is Amazon's biggest priority, and it really does affect our grocery share.
Absolutely. And it begs to ask a question. Is Amazon greater at supply chain than merchandising? Because we saw merchandising here, physical, not digital.
100%. The art and science of being a great omnichannel retailer haven't yet struck the right balance at Amazon. That science is enabling that same day or faster experience. And the art of being great when you're here in person is still not perfected.
And one last item before we wrap this up, we gave grades, and that is convenience and stock. How did you find the store stocked? And there was one such incident we found in the party aisle, which I think it'll be remiss if we don't talk about.
Yeah. Great omnichannel retail, as you know, as well as anybody, requires consistent execution of in-stock. And this is an area that
what happens when a consumer sees something out of stock?
Yeah, you come all the way here, you pass a Ralph's and you're out of stock. And like we saw in about 20% of shelving here in Amazon, it's a real painful experience.
Coming from the industry, you and I both know the number one thing we're taught in merchandising, you're out of stock, they ain't coming back.
That's right. And we talked about a story. A legendary Walmart store manager used to say that when he toured a store, he was a district manager, and he'd see out of stocks. If he could fit himself into that out of stock, that was a serious problem. He literally would lay down on the shelf to illustrate the impact of that out of stock.
I'd call that a retail crime. If you got that much space and out of stock, you're shortchanging the consumer. But Jordan, I'm going to reset that a little bit.
Okay.
If he could fit in, that's fix it now. Call the vendor if it's DST, go back room, call your warehouse, the nearest distribution center, cross stock, whatever it is. You get a few hours to fix it. But if I can fit in it, you're fired. You're fired.
To process that for a minute, Sri, it's a good point.
I could fit in the party stock aisle. Wrong. Because if there's one aisle that Amazon dominates, inside out, what is it, Jordan?
Paper party supplies. Yeah. And you and I both could have fit in there if we really wanted to prove a point.
So overall grade of the experience.
I think Amazon's physical grocery experience, this one particularly, is still a C to me.
I don't want to agree with you, but unfortunately that is the grade. It's a C. The reason I don't want to agree is I'm emotional about Amazon. I mean, my career changed because I moved into e-com.
Yeah.
And I started working with Amazon at Frito when it was a $5 million grocery business.
Wow.
Non-existent. So I built this thing together. To see it like this, it feels sad.
Yeah. Well, look, leadership has changed. Jason is now taking leadership here, coming from Whole Foods. He's an Accenture turned Whole Foods retailer, but looks like from Whole Foods' recent progress, it could be an inspiring.
Whole Foods merchandising is actually really cleaned up its act. This assortment is improved. Choices have improved. So I think we close it out by saying we're looking forward. And Jordan, are you and I committing to coming back in 6 months, store number one, and seeing what's changed?
Yeah, I'd give them a year, Sri. I think we will watch together Amazon's progress over this year, particularly on that same day or faster development. But let's come back here in 9 to 12 months. Let's invite Jason along and let's tour it and see, do we feel like it's got the art and science?
You didn't tell the audience who Jason is.
Jason, the new CEO of Amazon Grocery.
There we go.
Technically, but leading all Amazon grocery efforts coming out of Whole Foods.
So February 2026, can our audience look forward to 1 year in what's changed?
Yeah. Let's see what questions you have, but let's all meet back here
at
that time and let's rate it then.
So Jordan, thank you for joining me on this expedition. This was fabulous.
Yeah.
We promised to do this when we met up at Shop Talk Barcelona, of all places, over dinner.
Yeah.
It's only taken 8 months. Now we have a whole year to plan, so we're not missing February 2026. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure.
Good tour.
That's it, guys. See you soon on another episode.
Wow, that was fun to actually do a short form podcast live from a store. For those of you who actually want to watch us in store, This episode will be chopped up into 4-minute clips, approximately 4 minutes in nature, and shared over the course of this week, right after the release of this podcast. So if you want to see the video version, that's the best way for you to see it. I want to thank Jordan for joining me and doing this together with me in my local hometown right here in Woodland Hills, California. And now let me remind the audience that you can find all of our content simply by going to a web browser and typing cpgguys.com at the URL. And if you think you or your company has some thought leadership to contribute to our community discussion, just like Jordan from tomorrow did today, drop us an email at contact@cpgguys.com and maybe you can join us on the podcast. Don't forget to drop us a rating as requested before on cpgguys.com at the top navigation bar or on the Apple Podcast. The ratings and reviews help let us know whether we're having the right conversations with the right people, the quality of the show, and whether we're just simply getting it right. To all our followers on LinkedIn, thank you for the clicks, likes, direct messages, meeting us at conference, recording podcasts with us at the conference, remotely, in person, and most importantly to our sponsors. This show doesn't exist without you, so I can't say thank you enough times. And that's a wrap of this special episode of the CPG Guys.
The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from CPG Guys LLC or the individual author, hosts, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by CPG Guys LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The views expressed by CPG Guys LLC do not represent the views of their employers or the entity they represent. CPG Guys LLC expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we present in this podcast.